Okay, gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I want to give you all some advice on Path of Exile 2. However, it's just some setting recommendations and stuff like that I personally recommend I'm using right now playing the game. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm playing it on Xbox Series X, and a lot of these settings, console-wise, they're going to differ between platform because all of the current gen consoles, they all have a different set amount of power to them. So some settings may work great on one console while some don't work on the other. As you guys know, we got the PlayStation 5. We have the PlayStation 5 Pro. We have the Xbox Series S. Then we have the Xbox Series X. You know, there's just there's a variety of upper and lower end consoles out there. So, you know, just so you guys know, there's going to be some differences. So try and adjust accordingly depending on which console you're using. Like for example, you know, if you're playing on the Series S, obviously, you know, everything I'm telling you isn't going to scale that high on that console since it's the lower one, and you know, etc., etc., etc. You guys get what I'm saying. Now, first and foremost, you'll probably notice if you have this turned up at all that your game may have like this really grainy kind of look to it. And if you notice it here right now, the video may not do it justice, but that's just because your sharpness is turned up in some way or turned all the way up. What you want to do with the sharpness is bring that down. And that's if, you know, if that grainy look bothers you. It gets rid of that grainy, real edgy look that puts like a lot of white outlines on everything. It gets rid of that immediately. Now, me personally, with the resolution, I would say aim between 1440 and 1271. You know, depending on your preference and you know what you want to go for. I wouldn't recommend going full up to 4K. You know, especially if you want to play at 120 FPS. Me personally, I use the 120 hertz refresh rate. That's what I like to play on. I like having the higher frame rate. So therefore, I'm going to choose some lower resolution. However, if you're looking for a prettier picture, then by all means, you know, go with no upscale 3840 by 2160. Of course, you know, depending on your TV or monitor and stuff like that. But my recommendation would be staying around 1440 or 1271, or just go with the current resolution of your TV or monitor. Now, if you have a 4K TV or 4K monitor, explore some of the options before, you know, you just max out your resolution, because you're going to balance between frame rate and resolution, and especially in a game like Path of Exile, where there's a lot of, you know, particle effects and stuff going on, especially if you're playing with friends and you guys are magic heavy, yeah, you're going to want to balance that a little bit. especially on consoles. We have limitations here on consoles. You know, that's one thing we're going to have to learn to accept. Now, the lighting, I went ahead and left on the shadows plus global illumination. It really doesn't seem to bother anything much. I left the bloom at 100%. Dynamic culling, I don't want to use this because it's going to ruin some of the effects and particle effects and stuff like that. What's the point of going after, you know, and getting all these really cool, dope looking spells and different things if, you know, you're just going to kill some of them to keep the frame rate as high as possible. I mean, I get it, you know, but there's going to be some frame dips and stuff at the end of the day. Now, dynamic resolution, this I would honestly recommend turning on, because what this is going to do is it's just going to scale down the resolution of the game occasionally while you have a lot of stuff going on screen, just so you can, you know, maintain that higher frame rate. And, you know, that's always a good thing. Like, let's say, for example, you're playing at 1080p, 120 FPS. You got 2 or 3 sorcerers in your party, y'all fighting a boss. There's a bunch of spells going on, you know, just a lot of particle effects. It'll probably knock you down to like 900 or 720p occasionally, you know, just to you know, to keep everything stable so the frame rate doesn't drop too much and all of that fun stuff. Now, the one last thing I want to recommend to you guys to keep your game looking clean, especially, you know, on here on Path of Exile, that screen shake, turn that off. Because screen shake, it always just makes things look a lot more framey and dippy, because, you know, the screen's shaking every time you do an attack and stuff like that. It makes frames look like they're dipping a lot more than they usually are, and I hate that effect in games. I hate it. That's why, you know, when you watch MMOs and stuff like that, well, I hate to use the MMO as a comparison, but that's why when you watch a lot of gameplay in games like Final Fantasy 14 and other MMORPGs, and you see the particle effects going around, it looks so clear and crisp even with all that going on. That's because the game has no screen shake. A lot of games get this feature. I don't know why. I don't know what good it does. I guess it's an immersion thing, but I hate it. Alright, and that's just my personal recommendation. Anyway, guys, not a long guide, nothing too crazy. Those are just some of my recommendations for graphical settings on console. If these helped you, let me know down in the comments below. Also, leave your personal recommendations down in the comments for what you guys think people should be using. If y'all enjoyed today's video, smash that like. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.